Yes, good afternoon, participants. Welcome to the 2-day free training on SC900, Microsoft Security, Compliance, and Identity Fundamentals. Hope you had a nice day till now, and I hope that we'll be having wonderful session from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock this afternoon for the free training on SC900, and hopefully you had everything in your mind regarding the yesterday's discussion of module 1 and module 2. Now, slowly we will proceed for the revision part first. As I told, I believe in revise, 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 recollect, recollect. Then only our human brain will remember all the concepts. Otherwise, we have the regular habit of forgetting the important concepts. And later on, when we go for the SC900 certification exam, as I told like previously, getting the knowledge is one part of our training program, and the other part is to get you all certification of SC900. I wish you all the best once again in advance for your SC900 certification exam. I hope that you will attempt this exam in this week only and grab your certificate and post it in LinkedIn, share it with your friends, and motivate them also to write the SC900 exam. On this note, let us start. So this introduction I have given to you about my organization. I once again just show you the slide relevant to the organization details. We are the best in training. That's what I want to tell again. And I hope that you are enjoying the free training given by CloudThat organization. So utilize the opportunity whenever you get the free training opportunity, and when you come across the ad related to that, definitely register and gain the knowledge, attempt the exam, grab the certificate. That's what I want to tell you all. This was my introduction. I already told my certifications, my badges. I'm an MC. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and I'm here for you all to train. So this is our second wonderful day. I hope that we will be having a beautiful session and the knowledge sharing will be done. I already gave you all the details of the course. I gave you the details of prerequisites. You should be having networking and cloud computing concepts, and you should have general working experience in an IT environment. IT knowledge is also needed. Don't worry, you don't have all these things also. I am there to help you. And also you should have Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365, because today I will be speaking more about Microsoft 365. So you should be having awareness of all these requirements. And also our final objective is to get you passed in the SC900 exam. My dear participants, don't ignore this part. Okay, you are attending training. I'm very happy with the wonderful response I got from all the participants. But if you don't attempt the exam and get the certificate, the main important part of the entire program is not achieved. And today I will share you my LinkedIn profile. You all please connect with me. In the break, I will just post my LinkedIn profile. Let us be united. And any doubts regarding your SC900 or Microsoft related certifications, please ping me, please ask me in terms of message. I will be there for you to reply your messages. If not, at that moment, I will check my inbox. Whenever I have free time, I will definitely reply to you and be with you for your Microsoft cloud computing journey. So I will be sharing my my LinkedIn profile, in the sense my ID to you all in the break. Be connected with me and ask your doubts. So I'm there for you for the entire Microsoft cloud computing journey. Now, as I discussed, last session we had module 1, module 2 discussion relevant to security, compliance, and identity, and also Microsoft Identity and Access Management Solution. These are the foundation pillars of our discussion. So quickly, I will recap everything that we have discussed. This is the yesterday's slide only, right? And today we will be discussing about Microsoft Security Solutions and Microsoft Compliance Solutions. So my dear participants, get recharged and be enthusiastic to learn. Yeah, I mentioned you all that weightages should be known. So once again, I'm requesting you all attempt SC900 exam, get the certificate, and if possible, share with me the certificate also. I will be very happy to see your certificate because your success is my success. Yes, so 5 to 10% weightage is there for the first module that I have completed yesterday, and 25 to 30% weightage is there for the second module. So yesterday we have successfully completed these two modules, and also I told that I will be covering the demo part. Today I will do that, and I have completed one demo part. 2 demos are pending. I will complete today if the time permits with me. Definitely I will do that. And if today whatever we are going to discuss is very important. You see, maximum of questions in the final examination will come from this part only, capabilities of Microsoft Security Solutions and Microsoft Compliance Solutions. So you try to know the advantage of getting certification. You don't ignore that part. Once you get the certificate, industry will take you directly into their organization. They will pay you as much you want, based on your knowledge. Knowledge is the power. So once again, I'm motivating you to write the exam and share your success with me. Okay, yesterday's quote. Yeah, we have to dream, we have to build, and obviously we have to believe it. Otherwise, we cannot build it. Yeah, same quote that I have given for yesterday. I have the same quote for today only, but I will give you another quote also in my module 3, module 4 discussion. Yeah, so now coming to the lessons of module 1, security compliance concepts, methodologies, identity concepts. Okay. So these things I will just quickly scroll for your refreshment. Zero trust methodology, the mantra is trust no one, verify everything. And defense in depth is nothing but defense implementation layer wise. So I have given you all the details. This pyramid diagram is the base for security. This you should remember forever. So secrecy, correctness, and availability. That is what is confidentiality, integrity, availability is. Then shared responsibility model, I told this is the heart of the entire cloud computing concept. You should know what is the responsibility with you and what is the responsibility with the cloud provider. So if you know that only, you can work in an organization. Without knowing that, you will be a blind man in the organization, right? So please be aware of this slide and keep this in your mind. It can be an interview question also for you. Okay, when you attempt for cloud computing related interview and jobs, definitely they will ask you what is the role of a customer and what is the role of cloud provider in terms of SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, and also on-premise, right? And also threats. So you all should be aware of threats. Then only you can provide protection to your organization. So I explained you all the threats. So yesterday we have discussed about all this data breach, dictionary attack, ransomware, disruptive attacks. I hope you all remember that. So encryption, I told, conversion into secret form. 2 types, symmetric, asymmetric. One key for the both purposes. That is symmetric. You use the same key for encryption and decryption, and asymmetric, use the public key and private key. So this is done. Hashing, converting into a secret form. The difference between hashing and encryption is, and hashing, you cannot convert the code to secret code to original text, but you can do it by decryption in the encryption concept. Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework, I gave you all the details, the phases, the life cycle, which is very, very important. I hope you remember all these things. Then we move to identity concepts. I gave you all the attacks, details, and I told you identity is the primary security perimeter. Please remember this. I gave you the excellent role of identity provider, IDP. What the IDP will do? Do you remember? IDP is there between client and server. So client communicates with IDP. IDP in the sense identity provider. Identity provider issues a secret token, and that secret token is used by the server to interact and have a trust relationship with client. And I gave you the federated services. Example, I have given you how you are using your Twitter account details to log into a third-party site. So the trust relationship between identity provider A and identity provider B is making the things happen. Now I also explained in the previous class the directory services and Active Directory, which is very, very important. I have given you a demonstration of Azure Active Directory also. So this was about lesson 1. And in the module 2, we had a discussion relevant to 4 lessons. So it is identity types and capabilities of Azure Active Directory, access management capabilities of Azure Active Directory, and protection governance capabilities of Azure Active Directory. So I hope you all remember these concepts. I gave you in lesson 1 the details of Azure AD. I told it is the cloud-based identity and access management service. Hope you remember this. And then I have given you all the identity types: user, device, and service principal. That is nothing but identity for an application. And I have given you managed identity concepts. Then later we move to demonstration. I have completed this demonstration. You please recheck with yourself. I have given all the details of how to create a user, how to create a group, how to delete a user, how to restore a user. Much more you can explore. My dear participants, there is no end for exploration, innovation. So you are there with your Azure portal and you try to explore as much as you can. I gave you the details of B2B collaboration, B2C access management. Now, this is the way the login happens with the already existing accounts. I gave you all these details. I gave you the hybrid identities concept where the user is interacting with both on-premises AD as well as cloud AD. That is Azure Active Directory, and there is a Azure ID Connect for synchronization. Then I explained you all the details of multi-factor authentication. Very, very important concept. Double checking. Something you know is password. Something you have is the device. Something you are is nothing but your identity, your face, your palm, your iris. Everything that you have with you, that is you are. And security defaults. I explained you about the 3 tiers: Azure Free, Azure Premium P1, Azure Premium P2, and licensing capabilities. I have given you all the details of how the verification, double checking is done with text message, call, and all the other apps and verification codes. I gave the details of the bad password, good password, better password, best, that is passwordless, right? And I have given you all these details. And Windows Hello for Business, I already explained. Without hardware, the ping is useless. So you should carry a device for this to work. I already explained you all about the SSPR. Today I will give you a demonstration for SSPR also. It will be lengthy demonstration, but if the time allows, I will do it. SSPR is very, very useful. And it will be very useful in the scenarios where password change, password reset, account lock happens. And it is very beneficial to the organization, both in terms of cost and fastness. My dear participants, you have to explore all these things. And remember, these are all very important concepts in your certification exams. Today, I will tell you do this demo. I gave you the details of WAN password list, custom WAN password list, spray, password spray, hybrid security. Just recollect in your brain. Chapter 3, I explained you elaboratively about conditional access. Very, very important concept. I explained you the essence of signals, how the levels of access are given, and finally how the access is done. And this demonstration is also similar to SSPR demo. So both I will combine and give you today. So when it comes to role-based access control, I have given you the built-in roles, custom roles, all these examples elaborately I have discussed in the previous session. Is already RBAC and only grant the access users needs. Last lesson, I have given you the life cycle, identity life cycle, access life cycle details, and gave you the real-time examples for all these join, move, leave. Hope you remember all of them. And I explained you what is entitled management is and access reviews is. And I have given you the privileged identity management concept, PIM. So Azure Identity Protection I have explained you. So this was the whole story that went yesterday. So hope your brain is with full data of module 1 and module 2. My dear participants, recollect, revise. That is the success of, that is the secret of success. So I want you all to do this even for 1 week. If, for example, you are writing this Saturday and Sunday, you are planning for exam, you try to recollect, revise, then only you will succeed. Okay. So I don't want to waste much of your valuable time today. Yeah. So let us jump into the slides of today. I hope you are claimed your MOC. If any single person is also having an issue with MOC, please let us know. We have our chat moderator Meenu. So she will be helping you all regarding all your technical doubts as well as your MOC doubts. So please be in sync with us and clarify with us so that you will get your MOC. I will talk about MOC today also. Yeah. Things already have explained to you. So before going to the actual lesson, the quote for today. So my dear participants, I want my participants to be well charged and be activated, be energetic. So that is the reason why every day before starting my session, I start with a quote. So here in this quote, let us see what the actual gist we are getting. What is the secret of success? Right decisions. So my dear participants, already you have taken a right decision of attending Cloud.that SC900 free training program. So how do you make the right decisions? Experience. So obviously you might have some experience in your career till now. That can be your BTech learning, or else if you are a professional, you have some experience with you. So using that experience, you take right decisions. And how do you gain experience? Obviously wrong decisions. So this is the quote of the day, right? So take always right decisions, gain the best experience, and if you take wrong decisions also, don't be upset because that will be guiding you for the right decisions. So on that positive note, let us be charged, let us be activated, let us be so energetic, so enthusiastic to learn today's concepts. Yes, so module 3. Now coming to module 3, let me activate my pen. So yes. So in this module 3, we will be learning about the capabilities of Microsoft security solutions. So let us see what are the capabilities of, see, you have to remember the module name before learning it. So here I will be giving you the details of network security groups, Azure firewalls, and various Defender capabilities, which are very, very essential for the Microsoft security solutions. Now in this module, as I told, you will be learning about security capabilities in Azure, management capabilities of Azure, Microsoft Sentinel. This is AI. Today AI is ruling the world. I will be speaking how to integrate AI with security, right? So, and then I will be speaking about Microsoft 365 Defender, and then security management capabilities of Microsoft 365. And lastly, I will be giving you the details of Microsoft Intune, where we will be speaking about the device management and application management. Okay, so these are the module agenda. Let us move to the lesson 1, that is describe basic security capabilities in Azure. So in this lesson, you complete the lesson. When you complete the lesson, you will be having the details of describe Azure security capabilities for protecting your network. Describe how Azure can protect your virtual machines and how encryption on Azure can protect your data. So these are the 3 pillars that are very, very important to you for this lesson. Now, straight away, I'm moving to the first slide of my discussion, Azure Network Security Groups. So, my dear participants, I will go into some of the network concepts because for this learning, you should have networks concept, right? So, what happens in today's modern work environment is, I already told we have come to the work from home culture. Many users are working remotely from home. Managing access to assets and resources on your Azure virtual network. Is it a right or wrong? You are working from home and you are using the resources on Azure virtual network. So what happens with this Azure network security groups is it can automatically allow or deny traffic to your cloud based resources or assets. Right? So that is the main thing. It's allowing and denying network traffic to and from Azure resources that exist in your Azure virtual network. If I say like this, you may have some doubt in your mind. I will explain with the diagram. See, in the diagram you see an Azure virtual network with 2 subnets. You see 2 subnets are there. This is the virtual network and there are 2 subnets that are connected to the internet. This is the internet. This is the internet. So virtual network with 2 subnets are connected to internet, right? And each subnet has a virtual machine. You see in this there is a virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2, right? So if you see subnet 1 has a network security group 1 assigned to it, it is filtering. I will write filtering. So please bear with my handwriting. This is digital pen, or else my handwriting is good. So filtering. So what network security group 1 is doing? Filtering. Right? So network security group, what it is doing? It is filtering inbound and outbound access to virtual machine 1. Inbound and outbound access to virtual machine 1, which needs a higher level of access. Whereas if you see virtual machine 2 is representing a public facing machine that doesn't require an NSG. So that is the difference with NSG and without NSG. Right? So with this diagram I am showing. So filtering is implemented in terms of traffic when you are going with network security group. I hope I am very much clear with your NSG, right? Implementing inbound and outbound security rules, right? So when it comes to rule specifies, each rule specifies one of the following properties. So rules are categorized into name, source or destination, direction, right? Action, priority, protocol, and port range. So when it comes to name, so every NSG rule needs to have a name. So I will be giving the name for the NSG rule. And when it comes to priority, a number, you have to give a number between 100 to 100 and 4096. So you are giving a number between 100 and 4096, and rules are processed in priority order with the lower numbers processed before the higher numbers. So that is how you are assigning priority. Okay. And source or destination is nothing but specify either individual IP address or an IP address range. So how you identify your system with IP address only? No. So for that source or destination, we are using the IP address. And protocol is nothing but set of rules. So here we can go for TCP, transmission control protocol, UDP, user datagram protocol, or any other protocol. That is the reason why I told you should have some networks concept in your mind to learn this. Right? Don't worry, I am giving you all the details. Right? And when it comes to direction, I told no, inbound and outbound, and port range. Port range you can specify an individual or range of ports. So port range, you have port numbers such as 80. You all are students of network security or computer networks. I assume so. So there you are given the details of ports, right? So each rule should specify the port range also, right? Action. Finally, you need to decide what will happen when this rule is triggered. So this is very important rule. In the sense, once you implement a rule, finally the action will tell you what will happen when the rule is triggered, right? So that is all about network security groups. So at the end, I want to tell you that it is doing the filtering work. Okay, because filtering is very much needed in terms of access to the virtual machine, right? So let us discuss about Azure DDoS protection. So my dear participants, do you remember the DDoS example I have given to you? What is DDoS is? Yes, you can reply in chat. That is the reason why I told recollect, revise. Otherwise, you don't remember anything. You can just send it in chat box. The abbreviation for DDoS. Distributed denial of service. What is distributed denial of service? Makes the resources unresponsive. That's what I told no, my experience with results. Do you remember the example I have given in yesterday? I was very eager to know my results. My server was down, right? So the server is denying the service which I am intending to access, right? I was unable to see my results for 1 week of time. You just assume how much tension a student will have if the results are declared and he is not able to know the result for 1 week of time. During that time, the server was somehow repaired or some new server was brought in. We don't know what happened at that particular university server station. Slowly we used to get the results. So that server was not giving us the results. It was denying the service, even though the results were declared because of huge traffic during the day 1 of the result declaration, right? Or some attacker might have attacked on the server and totally stopped the activities of the server. So that is all about the distributed denial of service. Now let us straightly go to the diagram and analyze this concept. Now in this diagram you see attacker is there. As I told no, attacker might have attacked server. I told no, attacker is there. If you see, attacker attempts to overwhelm the network. So the attacker is attempting to overwhelm the network, right? It blocks the traffic from attacker. Which one? Azure DDoS protection is mainly blocking the traffic from attacker and ensuring that doesn't reach Azure resources. You are seeing no? This Azure DDoS protection is in between the Azure resources and the attacker. Okay, so what the attacker is doing? The attacker is trying to overwhelm the network, but in between the Azure DDoS protection is there and it is trying to prevent it. So the legitimate traffic coming from customers still flows into Azure. If you see the customers who are believable, in the sense authenticated customers, their traffic is flowing, right? You see the colors. If you see the colors, their traffic is flowing. The color with which it is signified, right? Hopefully, let us say that the color is yellow. To my eyes, it is yellow color. So I will just shade it. The traffic from the authenticated customers is flowing and accessing the resources, but the overwhelming attack done by the attacker is stopped by Azure DDoS protection. So during my days of example, which I told, my results were held for 1 week. Even this traffic was also allowed, and because of that, the server was down. You got my point? So this is what is the entire slide. So I have explained you simply with this diagram, right? The attacker is trying to overwhelm the network, right? And DDoS protection is trying to stop that. And whatever the actual authenticated customers are there, their traffic is being allowed to access the virtual network and the services of the cloud, right? So that is what is DDoS is. And when it comes to DDoS, there are two types, basic tier and standard tier. So basic is nothing but automatically enabled for every property in Azure at no extra cost. I told no, there are standards. In the previous session itself, I told Azure free, Azure Premium 1, P1, Azure Premium P2. Okay, standard, it provides extra mitigation capabilities that are tuned specifically to Microsoft Azure Virtual Network Resources. Okay, so these are the concepts related to Azure DDoS protection. Now I will speak about Azure Firewall. My dear participants. So yesterday also I was telling about Azure Firewall. It mainly protects your Azure Virtual Network resources from attackers. Okay, the features include built-in high availability and availability zones. So let me speak about Azure Firewall because, Azure Firewall. So what is Azure Firewall is? It is a managed cloud-based network security service that protects your Azure Virtual Network resources from attackers. If you see the diagram, so this is the role of Azure Firewall. Okay, so it is a managed cloud-based network security service that protects the Azure Virtual Network resources from attackers. Now, if you can deploy that Azure Firewall on any virtual network, that is your convenience. But the best approach is to use it on the centralized virtual network. You can see it is there on the centralized virtual network. So all virtual and on-premises networks will route through it. So that is what is done in the diagram, right? So you can scale up the usage to accommodate changing network traffic flows with the Azure Firewall. Okay, so that is the advantage you have. Now, if you see the features, one by one, I will explain you the features, then you will come to know the advantage of Azure Firewall. So we have the built-in high availability and availability zones. So Azure Firewall can be configured to span multiple availability zones for increased availability. And also, if you see here, we have the outbound SNAT and inbound NAT. What is DNAT and what is SNAT? That is source network address translation and destination network address translation. Okay, so it is mainly used to communicate with internet resources, these translations. So what they do is they translate the private IP address of network resources to Azure IP address. Okay, so that is what is the concept. Okay, so and when it comes to threat intelligence, so what do you mean by threat intelligence? It is like artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, what it will do, the behavior of computer will be more closer to human being, right? Whereas in threat intelligence, what it happens, it is used to alert and deny traffic from or to known malicious IP addresses and domains. Okay, it should be installed so that It is to alert and deny traffic flow, traffic from or to a known malicious IP address and domains, right? And when it comes to network and application level filtering, so you have to use IP address, port and protocol to support fully qualified domain name. That is what you are doing. So you have to use your IP address and also port and protocols to support fully qualified domain names. And when it comes to multiple public IP address, these addresses can be associated with your Azure firewall, right? So you can use these addresses with the Azure firewall. And then we have integration with Azure Monitor. So what is integration with Azure Monitor is to enable collecting, analyzing, and acting on the data from the Azure firewall logic. Okay, so all together, these are the capabilities of Azure firewall to provide better security to your organization, right? And it should be there on the centralized virtual network. I hope I am clear. Now, when it comes to Azure Bastion, so what is Azure Bastion? So it's nothing but to provide secure connectivity. Yeah, it is used to provide secure connectivity to your virtual machines directly from the Azure portal using transport layer security, TLS. It is also to provide security, right? And you see here the role of Azure Bastion is shown in the diagram. Okay, so when you connect via Azure Bastion, your virtual machines don't need a public IP address, agent, or special client software. That is the main advantage, right? So you have, if you use the Azure Bastion to connect, once again I am telling you, the virtual machines that are there, they don't need a public IP address, agent, or special client software. So that is the advantage of using Azure Bastions, right? Now, when it comes to the key features, you can see at the beginning, you have the RDP and SSH. So what is RDP? That is nothing but remote desktop protocol. And what is SSH? It is nothing but secure shell ports. So RDP and SSH are directly in Azure portal. Okay, you get to the RDP and SSH session directly in Azure portal using a single click experience by using Azure Bastion, right? So that is the advantage we can say, or we can say the feature. And we can have remote session over TLS and firewall traversal for RDP/SSH. Okay, so what happens in this is use an HTML5 based web client that automatically stream to your local device. You will get your RDP and SSH to traverse the corporate firewall securely. So that is the advantage. Okay, and the important feature is no public IP address required to Azure virtual machine. Okay, Azure Bastion opens the RDP/SSH machine using a private IP on your virtual machine, and you don't need the public IP. So that is the advantage or feature. And also no hassle of managing NSGs, right? See, you don't need to apply any NSG on the Azure Bastion subnet. You can see from the diagram also. And you see the private IP concept, right? Here we told no public IP required on Azure virtual machine, and also protection against port scanning. So your virtual machines are protected against port scanning by rogue and malicious users located outside your virtual network. That is the advantage. And protect against zero-day exploits. So what is a zero-day exploit? Any guess from participants? You can type in chat box. I'm giving you 1 minute of time. You can guess zero-day exploit. Yes, any response? Now that you are 1 day matured in your security concept, you can make guesses also. Exploitation, you know in English, and zero, day, Any guess from your side? you can happily type in chat box. We will see your wonderful reply also, because I want my participants to participate. Yes. See, what happens in zero-day exploit is the hacker will always try to take the advantage of a small software security flaw to perform a cyber attack. That is the reason why you should be flawless. If you have small flaw, that flaw will be identified by the attacker and definitely will attack the organization resources. So that is what is zero-day exploit is. So that security flaw is only known to hackers, right? So that is the reason why the software developer should leave no clue to the attacker and should be very, very cautious in designing the solution for the organization in terms of security. So all about Bayesian is explained to you with all the features. So you should be aware of RDP and SSH. You should be aware of TLS. Yes. So transport logic service, remote desktop protocol, secure shell, right? All these concepts you should be aware. Then only you will be getting the ultimate details of Azure Bayesian. Because I already explained you that you should be having the network concepts in your mind. Don't worry, I already explained you all those concepts also. So I hope I am clear with you with this Azure Bayesian. So finally, it provides the secure connectivity to your virtual machines directly from the Azure portal, right? And web application firewall. So when it comes to web application firewall, so my dear participants, see, web applications are almost everyday targeted. Is it or not? You see that a website will be hacked and you will not be provide service. Okay, so day to day, because of this COVID-19 and all the work from home concepts have come, and because of the unemployment issues also, so many people are engaged with malicious activities also. We are seeing that cyber attacks have increased drastically after COVID-19. You might be experiencing that your Facebook getting hacked, your Twitter account getting hacked, your privately managed websites are getting hacked, your organizational websites are hacked. This is happening more and more after COVID-19 because of unemployment among the people and being idle brain is devil shed. So they are doing all the devil kind of activities with the websites, web applications, right? So we are experiencing more and more attacks, and so we should be more and more cautious. So web applications are increasingly targeted by the malicious attackers. So that is the reason why we should have web application firewall. So it provides the centralized protection of your web applications from common exploits and vulnerabilities, right? So if you see the diagram, this web application firewall is a global policy and custom access control, right, for the Azure regions, cloud, and on-premises. Accessing through public network and as well as Microsoft Global Network, right? So this is how it is in between the users who are accessing the services of the cloud, on-premises, as well as Azure regions. And it is providing simpler security management. Okay, and also response time to security threat is improved. That means whenever there is a issue, there will be definitely a response, immediate response will be there. Patching a known vulnerability in one place and protecting against threats and intrusions, right? So this firewall is also similar to the previously discussed firewall concept, but there we are in terms of network, and here we are in terms of web application. That is the only difference. Finally, it is to give the protection, right? And where Azure encrypts data and use of key vault. So here, if you see this slide, encryption on Azure and what is Azure Key Vault. So when it comes to Azure Storage Service Encryption, the first important point, what it does, it helps to protect data at rest by automatically encrypting before persisting it to Azure managed disk. So I told data at rest in the last class. Do you remember? There are two concepts. Data at rest. I'll just write this only. Data at rest and data in transmission. Right? At rest in the sense, whenever the data is on the disk, it is at rest. Whenever the data is in the transmission, that is in the network, it is in the transit. Right? So Azure Storage Service Encryption, what it does, it mainly protects the data at rest. Okay, by encrypting it. That's it. You just simply analyze this concept in that way. And when it comes to Azure Disk Encryption, it mainly helps you encrypt Windows and Linux infrastructure as a service virtual machine disks. So it mainly focuses on Windows and Linux IaaS virtual machine disks. And when it comes to transparent data encryption, it mainly protects the Azure SQL database and Azure data warehouse against the threat of malicious activities. So it is for the database protection, DB, as well as data warehouse. That is transparent data encryption. Okay, so one is focusing on the data at rest, the other is focusing on the Windows and Linux IaaS virtual machine disks, and the third one is focusing on the SQL databases as well as Azure data warehouses against the threats and malicious activities. Hope I am clear. Now, when it comes to Azure Key Vault, so when it comes to Azure Key Vault, what is a Key Vault? That you should know, no? So it is nothing but a centralized cloud service for storing your application secrets. Okay, Vault. Vault, you know, no? The term Vault, you know. So Azure Key Vault is mainly for storing your application secrets. So it helps you control your application secrets and also keeping them, it keeps them in a single central location by providing the secret access. Okay, so Key Vault is mainly to provide the storage for your application secrets. I hope I am clear with Azure Key Vault concept, because this is also very, very essential for your final examination. Right? Now here various important concepts are there, like secret management. Key vaults can be used to store securely and tightly control access to tokens, passwords, certificates, API keys, and other secrets. Right? As I told, it is for providing secrecy for the important what we say resources like tokens, passwords, certificates, API keys, and other secrets. That secret management is done by Azure Key Vault. And key management. So key management is nothing but key vaults can be used as a key management solution. Okay, so it makes it easier to create and control the encryption keys. And when it comes to certificate management, key vaults lets you provision, manage, and deploy your public and private secure sockets, transport layers, secure certificates for Azure. So that is what is done by certificate management. And lastly, store secrets backed by hardware security models. Okay, the secrets and keys can be protected either by software or by various algorithms that are available for security. Okay, so these are the capabilities of Azure Key Vault. So the one is secret management, the key management, certificate management, also storing secrets backed by the hardware security modules. That is HSMS. Okay, that completes your lesson 1. This chapter is a lengthy chapter, my dear participants. So we will go for a break after completing this chapter only. I hope I am clear with all the concepts, even though they are tougher. I accept they are tougher concepts because you need the base of networks and all. I try to give you them in an easy manner with all the explanation relevant to diagrams and all. Hopefully you are sync with me and following me. Right. I gave you the details of Azure Network Security Group and the DDoS protection with the diagram elaborately explained. Firewall I have given you. Bastion I have explained you. And web application firewall have explained you the diagram. Then I gave you the details of Azure Encrypt data, Key Vault and all. Right. This closes lesson 1. And we are moving to lesson 2. My dear participants, let us be reactivated, recharged to learn the lesson 2 concepts, that is describe security management capabilities of Azure. So in this lesson, you will be knowing the security management capabilities of Azure, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and also understand cloud security posture management and the security baseline. So see, you are observing the difference from yesterday's session to this session, no? Are you observing? What is the difference? Yesterday it was like a smooth walk, cake walk for us, because we had like some concepts which are basic and some concepts in terms of average learning, and some are a little bit hard. But today I don't say they are hard, but okay, you are going into the much more details of your cloud security. That's what I wanted to convey. So be cautious and be more alert and careful while listening to the topics. Yes. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Now, before explaining about Microsoft Defender, I want to explain you about cloud security posture management. CSPM. So what is cloud security posture management? Any guess from your side? You can type in chat box. Okay, new topic I am asking you, but from your side, it is there already written on the slide also. Okay. So it is nothing but a new class of tools designed to improve your cloud security management. Okay. So what you do in this is you assess your system and automatically alert security staff in your IT department when a vulnerability is found. So you have a IT department. For every organization, there is an IT department. And in that IT department, there will be network sub-department and security sub-department. So what CSPM will do is, it will assess your systems. So day-to-day assessment will be done on your systems and automatically alert security staff if there is a problem found. So that is needed, no? Because your organization should function without any hackers hacking the systems. So the CSPM is mainly to see that day-to-day assessments are done on the system and inform to the concerned people for malicious activities if there are any happening, right? So that is what is CSPM is. So what the Microsoft Defender for Cloud will do is, it's a tool actually, okay, for security posture management and threat protection. So that is the reason why I explained what is security posture management well in advance. And also threat protection also it will be implemented. So basically it is a tool, right? Okay, so the pillars for cloud security are posture management feature and workload protection. That is what is shown here. Okay. If you see carefully, so entire thing I have explained with the CSPM only, right? And the CSPM is a concept. It's a theoretical concept, right? To implement it, there is a practical tool needed. The tool is nothing but Microsoft Defender. Okay. So when it comes to cloud workload protection, the workload protections are provided through Microsoft Defender plans specific to the types of resources in your subscriptions. Okay. So, and also we have the security score concept. So what is security score is tells at a glance your current security situation. So you have in cricket also score. What is the cricket score? Most interesting question. You watch cricket, no? You watch football, right? There we have the score display. What is the score? Mainly purpose. You should know the current situation with your country if they're batting position. Similarly, you have security score. Okay, that tells at glance your current security situation. So here, the higher the score, the lower the identified risk level. That is the main point. If you have the high security score, this can be a question in your examination also. They will ask you, they will give you a security score and they will ask you what is the risk level. So if you have the high score, then there is a low identified risk level, right? So that is all about the CSPM and cloud workload protection concepts. So cloud workload protection, mainly Microsoft Defender for Cloud is able to detect and resolve threats to resources, workloads and services by using cloud workload protection. I hope you are clear, right? And when it comes to secure score in Microsoft Defender for Cloud, already explained you, but with this diagram you will get more details. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud has multiple recommendations for how to secure your management ports. Okay, you must remediate them all to make a difference to your security score. That is what is needed. So mainly the security score is shown in the Azure portal pages as a percentage value. Here you see 58%. Okay, so I already told what is the gist of security score. Higher the score, lower the identified risk level, right? So you should be able to see your security score. Then only you will be as an administrator know what is the risk level of your organization. Okay. Now, if you see the security control called apply system is there. Apply system updates is there in this diagram, right? So it has a maximum score of 6 points. If you observe clearly, and you can see in the top two that the potential increases values of the control, right? That is 0.96, and current score is 5.04, right? So the system will calculate all these values and display. So maximum score is 6, and current score is 5.04. 5.04 is okay because 6 is a value, and 5.04 is closer to 6, right? So that is how we are judging. So now the situation of your system is okay because it is much more closer to the maximum score, right? So this is how you assess your system in terms of security. And when it comes to security baselines and in the Azure security benchmark, here when it comes to security baseline, Microsoft Cyber Security Group and the Center for Internet Security, CIS, they have developed the best practices to help establish secure baseline for the Azure platform. That is what is baseline is. So it mainly speaks about the best practices. Okay. So a baseline is the implementation of the benchmark on the individual Azure service, right? So you define the best practices and implement them. Okay, so the Azure security benchmark is there, no, ASB. It mainly provides the recommendations for a specific technology such as Azure. Okay, so what the ASB does is it provides the perspective, best practices and recommendations to help the security of the workloads, data and services of Azure. So this ASB is very, very important because it provides the security recommendations specific to the Azure platform. If you see security baselines examples here, Azure security baseline for Azure Active Directory, Azure security baseline for Azure Firewall, and also Azure security baseline for Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Right? So what they do individually, Azure security baseline for Azure Active Directory applies guidance from ASB to Azure AD. Right? And here it is applying guidance from ASB to Azure Firewall in Azure security baseline for Azure Firewall. And lastly, in Azure security baseline for Microsoft Defender for Cloud, it applies guidance from ASB to Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So you should know what is ASB is. So what is ASB? Once again, I will asking you the question. So ASB is nothing but Azure security benchmark, which contains the security recommendations for a specific technology such as Azure. right? So we have completed lesson 2. So in lesson 2, I have given you the details of Microsoft Defender only. So it mainly is about related to CSPM, the security posture management, also security score. Okay, you have the score, higher the score, lower the risk. And you have come across the security baselines and the ASB, very important concept. Right. Now, when it comes to describe security capabilities of Microsoft Sentinel, right? So after completing this module, as I told, every module has its own targets. You will be knowing the concepts of SIM, SOAR, and XDR. But also you will have the details of Microsoft Sentinel, how it provides the integrated threat protection, and lastly, you will be knowing the details of capabilities of Microsoft Sentinel. I already told Sentinel is all related to AI, artificial intelligence, integrated with the security concept. Let us see how it is. Right. So when it comes to the current slide, I hope you are seeing the actual part shown to you, that is SIM, SOAR, and XDR, right? So what is SIM? It is nothing but security, incident, and event management. Okay, and what is SOAR? It is security orchestration automated response. And what is what is XDR? First, you should know the abbreviation, extended detection and response. So SOAR, SIM, and XDR. So SIM is nothing but security incident and event management. So if you see, it is a tool that an organization uses to collect data from across the whole estate, including infrastructure, software, and resources. And mainly it does the analysis, looks for correlations or anomalies, and generates alerts and insights. So that is what is AI capabilities. So first of all, collection. Collect the data. So in AI, that is in artificial intelligence, the data is very much important. So here with security, how we are integrating AI, you are collecting the data from various resources, right? So you are collecting the data from where infrastructure, software, and other resources. And after the collection of data, what you are doing? Analysis. Obviously, you should analyze to come to a conclusion. Analysis. Right? We are doing the analysis. And look for correlations or anomalies. In the sense, any problems are there, any deviations are there, you just find out them after analyzing and then generate alerts, based on which the IIT security team will take actions. I hope I am very much clear with the SIM. Now, when it comes to SOAR, security orchestration and automated response, it mainly takes alerts from many sources such as SIM systems. See, they are all like interconnected. So SIM is providing the data to SOAR. So whatever the alerts that are generated by SIM, it is given as an input to SOAR. The SOAR system then triggers action-driven automated workforce and processes to run security tasks that mitigate the issue. So SOAR is providing the solution for the SIM generated alert. That is the simple way to understand SOAR. That is the reason why it is called as security orchestration automated response. And when it comes to extended detection and response, it is designed to deliver intelligent, automated, and integrated security across an organization's domain. Right? So XDR is very, very important because it's delivering the intelligent, automated, integrated security across an organization domain, and also it detects, prevents, and responds to the threat across identities, endpoints, applications, emails, IoT, whatnot. Infrastructure, everything is associated with the cloud and organization, it will take care of in terms of detection and response. So altogether, these three are working together to provide the security solution for your organization, right? So when it comes to Microsoft Sentinel, how it is providing the integrated threat protection. So already I explained you in the previous slide. So collection of data. So collect the data, from users, devices, applications, and infrastructure, both on premises as well as cloud, because on premises and cloud are working together. With what? Azure AD Connect for synchronization. In the previous slide, I explained hybrid model. So you have to take the data from both the areas and detect. What you have to detect? Uncovered threats, false positives. False positives in the sense, there is a concept called the false positive, which mainly focuses on the anomalies. So we try to plot them, and we use analytics and unparalleled threat intelligence to derive a solution for the problems that are there in the organization. So here in this case, we are only detecting. So this is very, very important phase of the SIM. Sorry, that is Sentinel, right? So SIM already explained, no? There only I told you that collection and detection is very important, and investigate. So what we do in investigation after detection, threats with AI and suspicious activities at scale, tapping into decades of cybersecurity work at Microsoft. So you investigate what actually happened. What is the main reason for the problem? Okay, critical incidents guided by AI. So artificial intelligence systems are nowadays very, very much important in all the domains, network domain, security domain, healthcare, everywhere it is needed. So in this way, we are investigating the threats, and we are plotting the suspicious activities. Okay, and what is the use if we do all these things? Finally, we have to respond. So respond with built-in orchestration and automation of common security. So finally, we have to give the solution. So that is what is shown in this diagram. So this collect, detect, investigate, respond, and again we go for collection. So this goes on every day, day-to-day activity, because day-to-day dynamic threats are coming, and we have to see that artificial intelligence is used. So finally, we are saying artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Giving the machine with intelligence. Obviously, you are trying to include intelligence in the machine, right? And that intelligence will be used for threat protection, threat detection as well as threat protection. That is what is Microsoft Sentinel is. Okay, so there is a large story for Microsoft Sentinel provides integrated threat protection by using all these concepts. So connect Microsoft Sentinel to your data. So finally, what we are doing for all this, the base is data protection. So you have to connect your Sentinel to data. Use connectors to Microsoft solution providing real-time integration. Your data should be protected. For that, you are connecting the Sentinel to data. Playbooks. So a collection of procedures that help automate and orchestrate your response. These playbooks are very essential. So it is nothing but a collection of procedures. Okay, and workbooks, they are also very much needed. Monitor the data using Microsoft Sentinel integration and Azure Monitor workbooks. Okay, so an investigation, I already told, collect, detect, and investigate. Under the investigation, you have to go for the scope of potential security threats and find the root cause. See, in real-time situations also, if any accident happens or if any theft happens, we go for the investigation. Who does it? What for they have done? Because this investigation will be useful for future precautions. Okay. So analytics. We use the built-in analytic alerts. You can get all notified when anything suspicious occurs. The organization employees, everybody should be made aware of what happened exactly. After investigation, you have to go for analytics. Hunting. So you have to use the search and query tools to hunt proactively for threats before an alert is triggered. So you have to be very careful. See, we should not go for solution after problem occurs. We should try to see that the problem doesn't even occur. So there we go for hunting concept. Okay, and manage incidents. So an incident is created when an alert you have enabled is triggered. Obviously, after the alert, an incident is created. Okay, and integrated threat production. So we have XDR with already I have given you XDR concept in the previous slide. Extended detection and response. Okay, XDR with Microsoft 365 Defender and Microsoft Defender for Cloud integration is implemented. I will speak about Microsoft 365 in the coming slides. And security automation and orchestration. We are integrating Azure Logic Apps to create workflows. So finally, what I want to tell you is the Sentinel is nothing but using the AI to give additional security to your organization. Let us see with a diagram. So here, Microsoft Sentinel provides integrated threat protection, right? You have Microsoft 365 Defender, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, all these identity apps, cloud apps, industrial, managed apps, SQL network, all these are there. Email, cloud endpoint, IoT, enterprise, server endpoints, containers. So, and we have the SIM and SDR solutions, right? So, this diagram shows how we are using the services of Microsoft Sentinel, Microsoft Defender for Cloud with all the reports, analysis, dashboards. You can see in the screen, right? They are providing all the alerts, triggers for the security experts as well as the customers, clients, employees, whenever there is an issue. You can see in the screen the reports, the bar graphs, the charts, the security scores, all the concepts that I have told now, they are shown in the screens of the computer with all these capabilities of Defender, Sentinel, right? Okay. Yes. So we have completed this chapter. I have given you the details of SIM, SOAR, and the SDR, and I have explained you what are the steps involved in implementing Sentinel, and then I have given you all the features of Sentinel, and I have explained with you the diagram showing how the reports. The screens are small actually, so I am unable to show you how the reports will look like. It's like bar graph charts, pie charts, easy way to know what the status of your security is in your organization. Security score, I already told. In this screen, you can see security score window also, right? Where you are seeing that higher the security, in the sense score, higher the score, less is the problem, okay? Now let us discuss about threat protection with Microsoft 365 Defender. Yes. So when it comes to threat protection, so what is threat protection is? Any guess from your side? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So you should be having something in your mind in terms of threat protection. Okay. So in this chapter, we will be describing the Microsoft 365 Defender service, and then we'll have discussion of describe how Microsoft 365 Defender provides integrated protection against sophisticated attacks, and we'll be discussing about how Microsoft Defender for cloud apps can help defend your data and assets, right? So Microsoft 365 Defender services. I hope you are all little bit like with full concepts in your mind. Don't think about the number of concepts, because once you have the set of concepts in your mind, then only you can go and attend the examination with full confidence, because you will have questions from SIM, SOAR, XDR. You will have questions from the concepts that we have discussed, because the weightage is above 30%. So this module 3 will take time, but after learning this, you will be very, very confident in your final examination. That's what I want to tell you. Okay. So Microsoft 365 Defender Services, it's nothing but an enterprise defense suite, right? It's an enterprise defense suite that protects against sophisticated cyber attacks. Cyber attacks. So all these are like relevant to the security experts who are there in the organization. See, generally you apply for software engineer jobs, but now if you enter into the security domain, definitely you will be given the jobs relevant to security analyst of the organization. Okay, so what the Microsoft 365 Defender will do is it's an enterprise defense suite that protects against sophisticated cyber attacks. That is the key concept. So with Microsoft 365 Defender, you can natively coordinate the detection, prevention, investigation, and response to threats across email, identity, and applications. Right? So we have, you might be knowing about Microsoft 365. I will just give you some names. Yammer, right? Yammer is like a Facebook. Facebook is a social networking site, and Yammer is nothing but a small social networking site relevant to the organization. Right? In Microsoft 365, we have all these things. Teams. Now you are attending this meeting using Teams only. Microsoft 365 Teams. Right? So first of all, you should know what is Microsoft 365 is. I'm just giving you the application names. Right? And we have Outlook. Outlook is like your mailbox. Sorry, Outlook. Please bear with my writing. Outlook. Okay, all these are there with your Microsoft 365. So what this Microsoft 365 Defender does is it mainly coordinates the detection, prevention, investigation, and response to threats. So it works with Microsoft 365. That's what I want to tell you. It mainly protects the identities, endpoints, apps, and email and collaboration. Okay, so 365 Defender services are related to all these Yammer, Teams, Outlook related security implementation. Okay, so integrated Microsoft 365 Defender experience. If you see identity, so Microsoft Defender for identity, endpoints are nothing but laptops, mobile phones, and all apps. They are nothing but applications. So email collaboration is for Office 365, right? So this is all about the Defender services. Okay. So when it comes to Microsoft Defender for identity, here what mainly focus is the following key areas are covered, right? So monitor and profile user behavior and activities. So every time there should be eye on what the user is doing. Okay. So if you don't monitor each and every employee of your organization, there is insider risk also. There is an external threat as well as internal threat also, because within the organization also there will be a chance of stealing the data of the organization and sending it to others. And there is always an external threat also. External attackers will try to attack your organization. So always you have to keep an eye, right? And then protect user identities and reduce the attack surface. So Defender for Identity gives us invaluable insights on identity configurations and suggested security best practices. So it will give you best practices for identity. I already told identity is the new security perimeter. And then identifies suspicious activities and advanced attacks across the cyber attack kill chain, right? So compromised credentials, reconnaissance, lateral movements, domain dominance, all these are implemented in terms of Microsoft Defender for Identity, and investigate alerts and user activities. So finally, I already explained to you about the investigation. So if any alerts come, you have to investigate what actually happened and what are the reasons for the problem. Then only you can provide the solution. Okay, so when it comes to Microsoft Defender for Office 365, first of all, it was formerly known as Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection. Okay, Office 365 Advanced, right? This Office 365 was formerly known as Office 365 Advanced. So here mainly covers the threat protection policies, reports, threat investigation and response capabilities, automated investigation and response capabilities. So what the threat protection do? So threat protection mainly safeguards your organization against malicious threats that can be posed by email, messages, URLs, collaboration tools, including Microsoft Teams. I told no, Teams are used for individual meetings, group meetings, team meetings. SharePoint Online, I will tell you what is SharePoint Online, mainly for storage. And OneDrive is also for storage and other Office clients. Okay, so threat protection mainly safeguards your organization against the malicious threats. Okay, so here, when it comes to reports, you will be viewing the real-time reports to monitor Defender for Office 365 performance in your organization. Obviously, reports will be in terms of dashboards or some analysis reports, pie charts, right? After the threat protection policies, the reports will come into picture because reports are very much easy to analyze, right? And then threat investigation and response capabilities, using leading edge tools to investigate, understand, stimulate, and prevent threats. So we investigate why the threat has happened and we go for the response capabilities. And when we go for automated investigation and response capabilities, we save time and effort in investigating and the threats which are occurring every day. Somehow we find the automation tool to investigate and response capabilities. So we are not going for manual intervention. We are automating the investigation process, and we are giving the response at that time only. So this saves time. This saves time. Right? So we have to go for threat protection policy, generate the reports, easy for analysis. We have to go for investigation and response capabilities, and finally we have to go for automation, which mainly saves time and effort in investigation and other responses. Okay, so that is all about the coverage of Microsoft Defender for Office 365. If you see Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 1, we have the safe attachments. So check email attachments for malicious content. That is very important. So whatever the Plan 1 concepts are there, they are very, very important. Just more focus on them. So whatever you are attaching to the email and sending to others from your organization or getting from others from the other organization, that attachment should be checked properly. Because in attachments only, the precious data will go. Also, some malicious data will come. And safe links. So always you scan the links for each click. So a safe link is always accessible, but malicious links are blocked. That's it. Malicious links will be blocked. Okay. And safe attachments for SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams. Right? Your organization share files by identifying and blocking the malicious files in team sites and document libraries. Same is the case. Here we are speaking about email and here we are speaking about Teams. So whatever the attachments you are sending via Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, they also should be checked. And malicious content should be blotted. Right? Anti-phishing protection. So I already explained to you about phishing and spear phishing in the last class. So detect attempt to improve improper. So mainly improper mails are coming, no? So you have to detect and you have to detect attempts to impersonate those users and internal or custom domains, right? So whatever the improper mails are coming, they have to be checked and they have to be deleted. First, they have to be deleted, and from the source which those emails are coming, we have to track and see that the person or some system which is sending those emails is caught. And real-time detections is nothing but we have to generate the real-time reports that allows you to identify and analyze the recent threats. So that is how the Plan 1 is implemented. So mainly in Plan 1, we are focusing on the attachments. And when it comes to Plan 2, so threat trackers. So they provide the latest intelligence on prevailing cybersecurity issues and allow an organization to take countermeasures before there is an actual threat. Okay, so track the threats and they provide you the countermeasures also. So Threat Explorer. So what happens in Threat Explorer is a real-time report that allows you to identify and analyze recent threats. So you are exploring and you are analyzing it also. And automated investigation and response includes a set of security playbooks that can be launched automatically, such as when an alert is triggered or manually. Okay, so in automated investigation and response, you are automating the investigation process and providing the response. The attack simulator allows to run realistic attack scenarios in your organization to identify vulnerabilities. Okay, simulation is nothing but creating an artificial environment. So you will be running a realistic attack scenario and you will be seeing how your organization will respond to that. So that is what is Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 2. And when it comes to Microsoft Defender for Office 365 availability, Microsoft Defender for 365 Office 365 is intended in certain subscriptions such as Microsoft 365 E5, Microsoft 365 E5, Office 365 E5, Office 365 A5, and Business Premium. Okay, so all these should be well secured. So when it comes to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, what is endpoint? Any guess, my dear participants? I will give you 1 point. I already told about endpoint in my delivery. Please respond with your chat reply. Endpoint. Yes, I know you are all thinking what is endpoint. Because already I told you all about the endpoint. Endpoint. That is the reason why I am telling you. There are so many concepts I am telling, but when you are listening, you should be a very attentive listener. Because listening is one of the fundamental role of the participant. If you keep full concentration while listening, you definitely get all the concepts. Yes. So again, I will repeat. I hope the chat replies have come. So here, endpoint is nothing but laptop, desktop, mobile phones, tablets, and services. So that is what is endpoint is. Microsoft Defender for Endpoint mainly focuses on providing a platform designed to help enterprise networks protect the endpoints. Right? Finally, you have to protect the laptop or desktop, whichever is the participant of your what we say organization. Mobile phone also sometimes linked with the organization, tablets, and all these have to be protected. So how the Microsoft Defender is providing the protection? It is mainly doing it by preventing, detecting, investigating, and responding to advanced threats. Again, the steps: preventing, detecting, investigating, and responding to the advanced threats. So when you go for Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, it mainly includes threat vulnerability and management. So what is threat vulnerability and management? Discovering, prioritization, and remediation of endpoint vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. Okay, so in this threat vulnerability and management, threat and vulnerability management, the discovery of prioritization and remediation of endpoint vulnerabilities and misconfiguration is done. And when it comes to attack surface reduction, it is the first line of defense in the stack. Is the first line of defense in the stack. And when it comes to next generation protection, it brings machine learning concept into picture. Machine learning, big data analytics, in-depth resistance research, and Microsoft cloud infrastructure to protect the devices. So it's more advanced. Right? All these are very much related to AI because artificial intelligence is the umbrella term for machine learning, big data analytics, and all. Okay, so endpoint detection and response. It provides the advanced attack detections that are near real time and actionable, right? And automated investigation and remediation. It uses inspection algorithms to and process used by analysts to examine the problems that are there in the organization. Mainly, inspection algorithms are used. In this automated investigation and remediation, we are using the inspection algorithms. Inspection algorithms. I already told about investigation. Okay, so you are investigating the problem and going for solving the issue. Okay, and we have the Microsoft Threat Expert. So the Microsoft Threat Expert mainly provides security operation centers. Okay, with monitoring and analysis tool to ensure critical threats. Right. So what it does, it mainly providing security operation centers where we have the analysis tools to operate with the critical threats. Okay, and all these are very much important in terms of Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. So when it comes to Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps, here, when it comes to Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps, the major concept is Cloud Access Security Broker. Right? This Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps is a CASB. CASB. What is CASB? Cloud Access Security Broker. So what the Cloud Access Security Broker does it is a cross SaaS solution. SaaS in the sense software as a service. Okay, that mainly operates on intermediary between a cloud user and cloud provider. Right? Same as the concept like identity provider was there between client and server. No, in this cloud access security broker, it's nothing but a cross SaaS solution, and it mainly operates between the cloud user and the cloud provider. Okay, when it comes to the Defender for Cloud Apps framework, so it mainly discovers and controls the use of shadow IT. So what is shadow IT? Any guess, my dear participants? Shadow IT, some negative term only. Positive term means there will be no shadow in that. So the Defender for Cloud Apps framework mainly discovers and controls the use of Shadow IT. Shadow IT, any guess? You can reply in chat. Because I want mutual participation. That is the reason why I frequently asking you questions. Right? Guesses only. I know that you are learning. So Shadow IT is nothing but the use of IT systems, devices, software, applications, and services without explicit IT department approval. See, you have to get the IT department approval for using the systems, devices, software, applications, and services. The day one only you will have an interaction with the network associate of your organization or IT team of your organization. They will give you all the devices. They will approve you to use the what we say 365 capabilities of your organization, such as Team, Yammer, and all. Without their approval, if you are using the resources, that is called as shadow IT. Why the shadow IT comes into picture? Mainly for attacking purpose. Okay, so this Cloud Apps framework will discover and control those things and protect your sensitive information anywhere in the cloud. Sensitive information means what? You can give your response. Sensitive information is nothing but your credit card numbers, your passports, your sensitive details, right? Mainly related to passwords only. So protect your sensitive information anywhere in the cloud. That is what is your Defender for Cloud Apps is doing. And protect acts against cyber threats and anomalies. Okay, so cyber threats you all know, and anomalies also problems, right? Access your cloud apps compliance. So compliance is nothing but accepting set of rules. So access your cloud apps compliance is nothing but the apps will have some rules and policies associated with them. So you have to assess your cloud apps compliance by using the Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps. Okay. So We have the Office 365 Cloud App security concepts and also enhanced Cloud App discovery and Azure Active Directory. I already told about editions, no? This Azure AD Premium P1 is there, which is included in Azure AD Cloud App discovery at no cost. Okay, it provides a reduced subset of the Microsoft Defender for Cloud App discovery capabilities. Right? So that is how it is enhanced Cloud App discovery and Azure Active Directory. So you have the architecture diagram also, Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps architecture. We have Cloud Apps, Cloud App Security, where we have app connectors, cloud discovery, right? Proxy access plus session, and how your organization from any location is interacting with that, and firewalls, proxies provided. This is how the entire concept of Defender for Cloud Apps architecture is visualized. Right? Now we have the Microsoft 365 concept, that is security management capabilities of Microsoft 365. Here in this chapter, we'll be discussing about describe and explore the Microsoft 365 Defender portal, how to use Microsoft Security Score, explore security reports and dashboards, and describe incidents and threat management capabilities. So when it comes to Microsoft 365 Defender portal, yes, my dear participants. Yeah. When it comes to Microsoft 365 Defender portal, it mainly combines the protection, detection, investigation, and response to email, collaboration, identity, device threats in a central portal. I hope that you all know about the portal. Portal is nothing like a website. So this Defender portal is mainly combining all these things, right? The protection, detection, investigation, and response to email, collaboration, and identity and device threats. So one service for all the problems. So what you are doing is you are viewing the security health of your organization. See, that is very much essential. Time to time, there should be a check of the security health. Is it or not? How healthy you are going for checkups or not? Monthly checkups, 6 months checkup, 1 year checkup. So your organization health also should be checked in terms of security. Act to configure devices, users, and apps. Okay. So that also is very much essential. There should be some act to configure the devices, users, and apps, and get alerts for suspicious activity. Every time you have to do this. Suspicious activity is the trigger for problem. So you have to check. You have to get alerts. Okay. So when you go for the navigation pane, mainly it includes incidents and alerts. What is incident? It is nothing but the broader story of an attack. Okay, by connecting the dots, can on individual alerts on entities, right? And when it comes to alerts, have greater visibility all alerts across your Microsoft 365 environment. Okay, and when it comes to hunting, hunting is nothing but proactively search for malware, suspicious files, and activities in your Microsoft 365 environment. You are hunting for problems. And when it comes to Action Center, it is nothing but reduce the volume of alerts your security team must address manually. Right? So you have to go for automation, because manually, how many problems you will handle? That is what is the role of Action Center. And threat analytics. Threat analytics is nothing but track and respond to the threats with an integrated Microsoft 365 Defender. You are tracking and providing the solution. Secure SOAR already explained. Improve your overall security posture with Microsoft Security Score. More the score, more is the comfortable zone. Learning Hub. The Microsoft 365 Defender portal includes a learning hub. Very, very, very important concept. It mainly provides the official guidance from resources such as Microsoft endpoints, email and collaboration, reports, permissions and rules, security blocks, and everything. So you are going to learn how to handle with security concepts by using this learning hub. Endpoints, again, the question triggers. Already I explained to you about endpoints, no? Laptops, devices, they are all to be protected. Email and collaboration, obviously email attachments and collaboration means Teams, all they have to be checked. Reports, they have to be generated. Permissions, they have to be checked, right? So that is all about the Microsoft Defender portal, which is a one portal for all the what we say concepts related to implementation of security. So here, Microsoft Security Score, see, already explained to you about the security score. It's nothing but the representation of company's security posture. So you are much aware of this. Previously also I explained, right? So it includes a report section. If you see the entire screenshot, you will have a report section that includes a general security report. Okay. You have the report section where the general security report is there. Reports related to endpoints and reports related to email and collaboration. All these are included in this report section, right? This part you see, they are there. In this diagram, there are no what we say pie charts and bar graphs and all, but scores are represented. The percentage value of the security score is there, right? Okay, so access to review, regressed, how many to address, planned, risk accepted, how many, recently added, how many, all right, recently uploaded, how many, right? So all these are there. So this is very much useful for analysis of the security status of the organization. Okay, so when it comes to security recommendations for Microsoft 365, right? Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Identity, Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps. All these are well supported by the Microsoft Security Score. It mainly provides recommendations for all these things. Okay, right? So the general security report, if you see carefully, it mainly enables the admins to view information about the security trends and track the protection of your status of your identities, devices, apps, and infrastructure. Okay, so that is what is the significance, right? So we have different default cards are grouped for the following categories. Like if you see identities, user accounts, and credentials, right? Data, email, and document content. Devices, computers, mobiles, phones, and other devices, apps, programs, and attached and online services. For all these, we have default cards, right? And based on that, the report section will have the analysis reports, right? So we have incident and incident management. Incidents are nothing but correlated alerts. So alerts are generated when there is a problem. Suspicion event is there in the organization, you will get an alert. Respondent provides a comprehensive view and context of an attack. So that is what is incident and incident management. So we have to collect the alerts created when a suspicion event is there, and we have to provide a comprehensive view and context of an attack. So once the incident occurs, you have to manage it, right? That is ensuring the threats are contained and addressed. Obviously, when the threat is there, you have to address. So what happens in Microsoft 365 Defender is you can manage device incidents, user accounts, and mailboxes. And when it comes to describe and the security with Microsoft Intune, this is the lesson 6, last lesson of our module. When admins want to confirm and manage security tasks for risk devices, they can go to the endpoint security node in Intune. That is what is the Intune concept. Okay, so let us see what Intune is. Describe what Intune is, the major focus of this chapter, and then we will describe the tools available with Intune, and then how to manage devices with Microsoft Endpoint Manager. I already told Microsoft mainly focuses with mobile device management and mobile application management. So the specific portion of the solution which mainly handles this is Microsoft Intune. So Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based service that focuses on mobile device management and mobile application management. This is a sure shot question in your examination, security certification exam, MAM, MDM. So you should know what is Intune is. So Intune, why this mobile device management has come into picture? See, I am the employee of the organization. So when you join the organization, they will ask you what is the mobile number with which you are operating. So your mobile device is also one of the asset that you are carrying with you permanently and is associated with your organization. So the device management is also under the control of the organization. And also applications that are there relevant to the organization. Say for example, you will use your device to attend the Teams meeting of your organization. There are situations like that. You will install a Microsoft 365 on your mobile and you will operate with Outlook also. So there internally what you are doing, you are using your mobile also parallelly with the laptop given by your organization. So that device also should be well managed. So that is nothing but coming under the Intune concept. Okay. So if you carefully watch MDM, when devices are enrolled and managed in Intune, administrators can what they can do. They see the devices enrolled and get an inventory of the ones accessing the organization resources. So all the devices which are accessing the organization resources are under scan because organization resources are very important. They should be well protected. Configure devices so that they meet your society and health standards, security and health standards. Obviously, any device you are operating with, they have to meet with the security and health standards. Push certificates to devices so users can easily access your Wi-Fi network or use a VPN to connect to. See reports on users and devices to determine if they are compliant. Obviously, compliancy is nothing but accepting the rules, right? Remove organization data if a device is lost, stolen, or not used anymore. See, generally there is less chance of losing the laptop, but more chances of losing the mobile device. Is it or not? We always have the problem of forgetting our mobile device at various spots. Then what will happen with the organization? See, you are operating your device with the organization and you have a lot of data associated with your organization in the mobile device. You lost it. So there should be some way to remove the organization data if it is lost or stolen. So that comes under a mobile device management. So this comes under the broader concept of Microsoft Intune. So when apps are managed in Intune, administrators can what they can do, add and assign mobile apps to your user groups and devices. Okay. Configure apps to start or run with specific settings enabled. So you have to go for enabling some settings and update existing apps already on the device. So see reports on which apps are used and track their usage. See, if you are using some apps relevant to your organization on the mobile, there should be auditor associated with you. In the sense, he will be checking what kind of apps you are using and what how much time you are using, what for you are using, are you misusing it or are you using it in a proper way?